What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Plus Unit Picks. Like, subscribe, and drop a comment right now. It's Friday Night Baseball. I've got 4 games in 4 plays, all on PrizePicks. This is one of the sharpest MLB cards that I have by far. I put it together and I'm locked in. Sign up on my Winnable for the free membership. The link is in the description. It's also pinned to the comment section. Before we get into it, however, if you're already on Underdog, that's awesome. You can tell the plays there. If you're not on Underdog yet, they have a sign-up bonus for new users where if you use my code PLUS, that's all you have to do. It's right here on the screen, PLUS. Use my code, and that'll get you a $50 bonus just by betting $5 on their platform as a new user, okay? Download it from the App Store, Google Play Store, whatever it is that you use, and that unlocks it. Very simple. Okay, if you're already on Underdog, check out Novig. They by far have one of the best sign-up offers right now for new users, where also if you spend $5 on their platform, just $5, they'll give you $50 deposited as a bonus on their platform. So use my code PLUSUNIT, PLUSUNIT, and that unlocks the bonus, guys. So very easy to do, guys. Very easy way to stack your bankroll. Don't do it the wrong way. Do it the right way. With that being said, we're going to move into the first play for MLB Friday. And I have got Josh Naylor. That's going to be the Seattle Mariners versus the Detroit Tigers matchup at 5:40 p.m. for Friday. I'm going to fade Josh Naylor on hits, runs, and RBIs. Here's why I like it. Naylor owns a .254 batting average with 6 home runs and 25 RBIs in 57 games. And he just homered against the Mets Monday despite a back spasm that forced him out. The hot stretch is real, but Naylor came out of that Mets game with a bit of a back spasm and was listed day to day. So monitor the injury report there and check out my Winnable page for any updates. So a banged up, Naylor in a road game at Detroit. They have a solid pitching staff as well. So every reason to fade that. We're going to check the numbers really quick. An outlier, if you check out what he's done over the past 5 games, if you would have faded him, you would have cashed 4 out of 5 of your tickets. So that's an 80% hit rate. Over the past 10 games, it's lower at 50%. And over the past 20 games, it's at 65%, where you would have cashed 13 out of 20 of your tickets. So he's going up against Framber Valdez. That's another reason why I like it. Naylor's a left-handed batter, and Framber Valdez is a left-handed pitcher. So the matchup, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So Naylor, his history as far as Valdez, it's a lot of sample size there. 12 plate appearances, and his batting average is only 100. So he had 1 hit and he had 1 RBI. Not really a high strikeout percentage there, but not a lot of success. .250 on base percentage. So I like that a lot. Also, the runs created is a lot lower for Josh Naylor. See this stat here where it's green? So against right-handed pitchers, he has a higher runs created average at 92, or rating at 92.3, but against left-handed pitchers, it's almost 20 points less. So that's another strong stat line. The other stat line I like is Framber Valdez going up against left-handed batters. His ERA is a lot lower compared to going against right-handed batters. So lock that in, guys. That's a matchup play as well. That's going to be Josh Naylor. We're going to go to the second play of the night, and that's going to be Javier Sanoja. It's a different game. As I had mentioned, there's 4 games. So I'm going to take this hits, runs, and RBIs. We're also going to fade Javier Sanoja. That's the Tampa Bay Rays versus the Miami Marlins. A little bit about Sanoja. He's been one of the hotter bats in the NL recently, batting .338 with 22 hits, a homer, 15 RBIs, and 5 runs over his last 20 games. That's a legitimate hot streak, but tonight he faces the Tampa Bay Rays, one of the best pitching organizations in all of baseball. So through 51 plate appearances in May, Sanoja slashed just .167 against tough pitching. So his production matchup, it's kind of matchup dependent. The Rays consistently suppress opposing offenses in a road game with their staff. So even a hot bat like Sanoha cools off. We're going to dive into the numbers in outlier.bet, my favorite tool. Let's see. Once it loads up here. Here it goes. Goodness. All right. So over the past 5 games, if you would have faded him on hits, runs, and RBIs, you would have cashed 60% of your tickets. Over the past 10 games, it's at 60% as well for 6 out of 10. Let's see. Tampa Bay, he's going up against Rasmussen, a right-handed pitcher. Sanoha is a right-handed batter. And if you look at the matchup situation here, he's already faced Rasmussen 4 times, and he has no production in 4 at-bats, like nothing. So, 0-0 there. I know 4 is not a high sample size, but it's not too low of a sample size, If you look at Rasmussen's ERA against right-handed batters, it's pretty convincing. In 90 batters faced this season, it's that his ERA is 1.37, so that's a strong stat line. And also the weighted on-base average is a lot lower as well, almost 10% lower at 0.172 versus everyone else at 0.269. So I really like this one a lot, guys. Take that as the second play on MLB Friday. The third play I'm going with is going to be that Cincinnati St. Louis series. Basically, it's going to be a pitching matchup here. I like Kyle Leahy. We're going to fade. We're going to actually take him on the over on walks allowed at 1.5. So it's Cincinnati, the Reds versus the Cardinals. A little bit about Leahy. This is one of my favorite plays on the entire card. Leahy, he just issued a season worst 4 walks in 5 innings against the Padres. His command was all over the place. And if you look at his full season profile, he has 4.93 ERA with 1.64 WHIP, with a 27-13 ratio of strikeouts to batters walked over a 34.2 innings. So that's nearly 2 walks per start on average. So his control has been consistently shaky all season. So tonight he's going to face the Reds, a lineup that works counts, draws walks, and makes pitchers work deep into the bats. So when a pitcher has command issues like Leahy does, and he meets a patient lineup, I think that's a recipe for disaster for a lot of walks. I think the walks are going to pile up pretty fast, pretty early here. So take that. We're going to check out the numbers really quick as far as why I like it stat-wise, not just talking, analytics, but stat-wise, if you took the over on walks against, for Leahy, 4 out of 5, you would have cashed, 80% of your tickets. That's 4 out of 5. That's a strong statistic. Over the past 10 games, it's 70%, just a little bit lower, but a very strong probability there, 7 out of 10. And then over 12 games, so he's only pitched in 12 games, it's 67%, 8 out of 12. So he's got a very high ERA. I've got every reason to believe this guy is easily going to walk 2 or 3 people tonight. So, all right. With that being said, before we move into the 4th and final play, guys, once again, if you're not on Underdog, you're totally missing out. Use my code PLUS. That'll get you a $5 or a $50 bonus just by betting $5 on their platform. If you're already on Underdog, check out Novig. Use my code PLUSUNIT, PLUSUNIT. That will also get you a $50 bonus as a new user just by betting $5. Okay, with that being said, we're going to move to the 4th and final play. And it's none other than Fernando Tatis. It's going to be the New York Mets versus the Padres. We're going to take Fernando Tatis Jr. on the over for hits, runs, and RBIs. I'm still thinking basketball. Here's why I like it. He's a superstar, right? He just broke out of his, homer drought. So he's hitting his first He hit his first home run in 2026 after, the first 2 months without one almost. So there's nothing more dangerous in baseball than a superstar who just broke out of a slump. And I think that's what's going on tonight. His hard hit rate is 51.7%, and his average exit velocity is 90.3 miles per hour. So he's starting to get pretty good contact on the ball. The underlying numbers were always saying that that the breakout was coming. So the Mets are on a 12-game losing streak, and their pitching is being stretched here. So Tatis is going to be unleashed from the first bat tonight. Take that as the over on hits, runs, and RBIs. We're going to check out the numbers with Tatis. Over the past 5 games, he's at 60%. If you took him on the over, you would have cashed 60% of your tickets on hits, runs, and RBIs. Over the past 10 games, it's at 70%, 7 out of 10, even higher. And the matchup, that's what I wanted to look at. He's going up against a right-handed pitcher. So Scott for the Mets, it looks like against right-handed batters like Tatis is, Scott kind of struggles a bit because his ERA is almost a whole run higher at 3.72 compared to 2.97 against other batters. The batting, actually the weighted on-base average is very much higher too. So if you look here, it's 0.395 versus 0.308 against right-handed batters. So in 49 batters face, they're kind of unleashing on the guy. So and I think Tatis, coming off the slump that he's on and the fact that he's a superstar, he's going to have a field day. So take that, guys. That's going to be the 4th and final pick. We're going to do a quick recap. As I had mentioned, we have Josh Naylor on the under for 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Then we have Javier Sanoja on the under for hits, runs, and RBIs. And then we've got Kyle Leahy on over 1.5 walks allowed. And then finally, Fernando Tatis Jr., we're going to take him on the over 1.5 for hits, runs, and RBIs. So, guys, that's going to do it. Let me know down below in the comments what you like versus what you didn't like, what you're going to tail versus what you're going to fade. And I'll see you guys in the next one.